So almost exactly 1 month ago today, full self-driving subscription finally launched. So we're about to get charged another $200 here in 2 days. So it's time to talk about, was it worth it? And will we be canceling or keeping full self-driving subscription? Now, just as a reminder, full self-driving subscription model finally launched last month. And here was the deal. There were two prices based on which equipment your car had. So if you had Enhanced Autopilot, which was an option back in the day, and for the Model Y, it was available for 2 weeks in September of 2020. It was a $4,000 or $5,000 option, and it gave you things like navigate on autopilot, auto lane change, auto park, and summon. And when it did come out, I argued that EAP was probably what something like 80% of you actually want in your Model Y or your Model 3. Enhanced Autopilot is everything that's functional today. Full self-driving is not functional today. There are some videos on YouTube of people who have the beta program on their car. Those people have access to the current revision of full self-driving. So full self-driving is continuing to improve, which is fantastic. And there's a lot of work that still needs to be done. So what full self-driving adds over Enhanced Autopilot is traffic light and stop sign control and Autosteer on city streets. But again, that is not available today. So with that, what you need to understand, if you pay $200 for full self-driving, you will get all the Enhanced Autopilot features plus stop sign and stop light control. That is it. You will not get full self-driving on city streets, as that's not released to the public yet. So keep that in mind. You're paying $200 a month for Enhanced Autopilot and adding stop sign and stop light control. But that's it. Nothing else other than what Enhanced Autopilot is today. And because of that, I think that the value is sometimes questionable.
I want to thank the sponsor of this video, Phantom Wallet. Phantom Wallet offers premium wallet designs with an aluminum chassis with options of wood, leather, and carbon fiber finishes. Grab the card you need with a quick flip of the lever. RFID and NFC protection are built in, ensuring a safe and secure alternative to traditional options. Make sure to use code BTG to save 10% on your order.
You are paying $200 a month for features that are not available. Now, if you don't have Enhanced Autopilot, no problem. This could be worth it if you're willing to spend $200, but you need to be in a certain category of people. So either you need to have a YouTube channel, of course, that would make it worthwhile, or if you do a lot of road trips or your daily commute is on the highway, it may be worth it. So you need to have some highway driving to make this system worth it. Now, if your car has Enhanced Autopilot already, it's $99 a month to add full self-driving for the subscription. You can cancel at any time. You can reactivate it at any time. You can cancel it again, reactivate it again. There's no penalty for doing so. But the thing is, if you have Enhanced Autopilot and you pay $99 a month, the only functionality you are adding is stop sign and stop light control. That's it. Nothing else will be added to what your car is capable of doing. Now, it is cool, no doubt, but is it $100 a month cool? Absolutely not. At least in my opinion, it's not worth it. Now, we have basic autopilot in this car. I'm not a big fan of spending $10,000 on features that are not available today. Now, if Enhanced Autopilot was available today and it was $4,000 or $5,000, I would probably spend that money. Now, remember, that stays with the car, which is what's nice about the subscription model, is you can have it for the periods you need it, get rid of it when you don't, and it'll take months of continuous subscription before you start to spend the kind of money you would have on full self-driving. Now, there's a lot of argument about the value of full self-driving when it comes time to sell it, because it can vary widely based on the situation. But essentially, unless you sell it yourself, you're not going to get that full $10,000 or close to it back when you trade in a car. So you're going to need to sell it yourself to try to get as much of that $10,000 back, because it doesn't go with you, it stays with the car. So you're paying 10 grand for a system that can't go with you when you buy the next Tesla, and it's not even fully released yet. So now that's all going to change very soon. It's all going to be coming very soon. If you watch some of the updates by some of the YouTubers, I think that there's incredible progress being made, and I can see a light at the end of the tunnel for this thing. So it's exciting to see the progress they've made, and it does seem imminent that it'll be here before you know it. So with that, let's go for a ride so I can show you kind of what this is like. and talk about where's the value of paying $200 a month. So I will show you what it's like. Understand there are a number of settings you can change. Example, you can have the car change lanes on its own. You can have the car recommend changes that require your confirmation, or you can have it so only you can make lane changes. There's other settings as well that you can factor in for stoplights and stop signs. One of the things I do like is I have it chime at me when a light turns green and there's nobody in front of me. So it's kind of a reminder. So if you're like looking at other traffic around you, it'll give you a light ding and it'll notify you, hey, light is green, you can go. Also, when you're rolling through traffic, as long as the light is green and the traffic is moving, you don't have to do anything. However, if there's nobody in front of you, even if the light is green, you do have to confirm that you want it to continue. So it'll come to a stop if you don't do that, even if the light is green. So you have to be paying attention for that. It does seem to have issues with flashing yellow lights, at least in my experience. No matter how many times I confirmed it, it's still thinking the light is turning yellow and about to turn red, which it won't let you go through an intersection when it's about to turn red. So keep that in mind as well. That was really scary. So whenever there's a flashing yellow light, I take over the car and then I re-engage after I get through that intersection. I will say the auto lane change is really nice and I really like that. Now I have it set so that it can recommend when to change lanes, because as we're going on road trips frequently, I want it to keep an eye on things so I don't miss an exit, as an example. But I'm the one who has to confirm that it's ready to make a lane change. Otherwise it won't do it, and that's exactly how I want it. So if I ignore it for too long, it will give me a chime to let me know, and then I can go ahead and make the appropriate lane change. But if you're traveling across the country, having the car recommend you change lanes at certain times is actually really nice. Again, I think it helps to keep you on track so you don't miss exits or turns or anything like that. Now, once you get to the exit, go ahead and shut it off, because now you're on city streets and it's not going to do anything else. But the car will go from highway to highway, take on-ramp to off-ramp. It'll go from one highway, take the ramp onto the next highway, and continue on. When you don't have enhanced autopilot or full self-driving, when you're driving a long distance on the highway, every time you change a lane, autopilot disengages. Now the cruise control stays on, so the speed you're going stays active, but once you change that lane, you have to re-engage autopilot. And then once you go back to the other lane, you got to re-engage it again. So it's not that it's terrible, but it is kind of annoying, and it gets old because the number of lane changes that you probably do over 1,000 miles like we do is quite a bit. So I am so excited to go on my first real road trip with Enhanced Autopilot or full self-driving subscription. So I'm excited to see how much more convenient it is to have this system. Now we have a vision-only system car, so there are a few things that are limited right now, but last night they did update via software. Instead of 3 car lengths, it's now down to 2, so they are making progress. All the vision system cars are feeding that data into Tesla, so they're continuing to make improvements with the system. So very excited to see those enhancements coming. Right now it's limited to 80 miles an hour as well. So for those of you that have highways that are 80 miles an hour, more out west, you cannot go faster than 80 miles per hour on autopilot. So I'm excited to see that bump up here soon as well, especially for those of you who have 80 plus mile an hour speed limit roads. So with that, I've got to say, I'm glad that we have it and I'm excited to use it on our road trips. But if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I would only have it active when we're going on road trips. So during the summer, when we're doing more trips, I would probably keep it on, but I would not have it active when we're not going on road trips, because there's no other reason to have it unless there was frequent highway commutes and you were willing to spend that kind of money for half of the features that you're paying for. Now, here's the other thing. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think you can start to draw some conclusions. Once full self-driving is actually released, how much do you think it's going to be? A lot of people have been talking about $10,000 for full self-driving is just now. Wait till it's actually public, it's going to go up. If that goes up, I think there's a really good chance that the subscription could go up as well. So it's $200 now without functionality. How much will it be when it does have functionality? Hopefully it's still $200, but we'll just have to wait and see, because there's nothing else to point at this time. So there you have it. That's kind of how it works. Those are my thoughts. Again, that's just my opinion on the system, and is $200 a month worth it? If you have Enhanced Autopilot, it's absolutely not worth it. Do not spend $100 a month to upgrade to full self-driving, at least right now, because you're only going to have interactions with stop signs and stoplights. You can do it for a month just to see how it feels, but you'll know pretty quickly that this isn't really worth $100. If you don't have Enhanced Autopilot, I would still spend $200, give it a shot so you can really experience it and know what you are or are not missing out on, and make an assessment for yourself. Is this worth $200 a month to me? So each of you will have your own equation to figure out, is it worth it? So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, give it the thumbs up. If you haven't already, of course, subscribe to the channel as we continue to post content regularly. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram @BeardedTesla. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.